When global tyranny threatened the world, America responded with the arsenal of democracy. These are the iron giants that carved the path to victory, from the lightning-fast Stuart to the bone-crushing Pershing. Witness the engineering power that changed the course of history. Proudly made in USA, this is the complete evolution of American steel. This is every U.S. tank ever built in World War II. M3 Stuart. This was the first American tank to face the Axis in North Africa. It weighed 14.7 tons, a compact size that allowed it to navigate the narrow jungle paths of the Pacific and the vast sands of the Sahara. Its armament consisted of a 37mm M6 gun, and it was protected by armor up to 38mm thick. Despite its small gun, its mechanical reliability was legendary, reaching a top speed of 58 km/h. British crews loved it so much they called it the Honey. With 13,859 units produced, it was the most successful light tank of the early war. M5 Stuart. When the supply of radial engines grew scarce, American engineers redesigned the Stuart to use twin Cadillac V8 engines. This version weighed 15.2 tons. It kept the same 37mm armament, but the armor was increased to 67mm through the use of sloped plating on the hull. It maintained a speed of 58 km/h, but it was much quieter and more comfortable for the crew than its predecessor. With 6,810 units produced, it served as the eyes of the U.S. armored divisions during the liberation of Europe. M22 Locust. This tank was designed for a very specific purpose: to be dropped from the air. It weighed only 7.4 tons, stripped down to the bare essentials to fit inside or under a glider. Its armament was a 37mm gun, and its armor was a thin 25mm, offering protection only against small arms. It was surprisingly fast, hitting a speed of 64 km/h. Only 830 units were produced, and while it saw limited action during Operation Varsity, it remains one of the most unique airborne experiments in history. M24 Chaffee. By late 1944, the U.S. Army finally had a light tank that could fight back against heavier threats. The Chaffee weighed 18.4 tons. Its armament was a powerful 75mm gun adapted from a B-25 bomber, while its armor was 38mm thick. It was highly mobile, reaching a speed of 56 km/h. With 4,731 units produced, the Chaffee replaced the Stuarts and set the design standard for all future light tanks with its low profile and high firepower. M3 Lee. Because the U.S. could not build a large turret for a 75mm gun in time, they put the main gun in the hull. This tank weighed 27 tons. Its armament was dual: a 75mm gun in the hull and a 37mm gun in the turret, protected by 51mm of armor. It reached a speed of 42 km/h. Though it was tall and awkward, its production of 6,258 units saved the British in Africa when they had nothing else capable of stopping German armor at long range. M4 Sherman. The most famous American tank of all time. The Sherman was designed for mass production and global logistics. It weighed 30.3 tons. Its armament was a 75mm gun, later 76mm, and it featured armor up to 76mm thick. It reached a speed of 38 km/h. It wasn't the heaviest tank, but it was the most reliable. With a staggering 49,234 units produced, the Sherman won the war of attrition, ensuring that for every one tank Germany built, America built 4. M10 Wolverine. America's first dedicated tank destroyer was built on a modified Sherman chassis. It weighed 29.6 tons. It was armed with a 3-inch, 76.2mm, high-velocity gun, but its armor was a light 57mm to ensure it remained fast. It reached a speed of 51 km/h. With 6,706 units produced, the Wolverine used an open-top turret to give the commander a 360-degree view of the battlefield, allowing them to spot the enemy before being spotted themselves. M18 Hellcat. This was the fastest tracked vehicle of the war, designed for shoot and scoot tactics. It weighed only 17.7 tons. It was armed with a 76mm gun, but its armor was a paper-thin 13mm, barely enough to stop a rifle bullet. However, Its speed was a record-breaking 80 kilometers per hour. With 2,507 units produced, the Hellcat had the highest kill-to-loss ratio of any U.S. tank or tank destroyer, using its incredible speed to outflank and destroy heavy panzers. M36 Jackson. When the U.S. encountered the heavy armor of the Panther and Tiger, they needed a bigger gun. The M36 weighed 29 tons. Its armament was a massive 90mm M3 gun that could punch through a Tiger from the front, while its armor was 76mm. It moved at a speed of 42 kilometers per hour. With 2,324 units produced, it was the most feared Allied tank destroyer on the Western Front, often serving as the only solution to German heavy armor. M6 Heavy tank. Before the Pershing, the U.S. experimented with this massive beast. It weighed 57.4 tons. Its armament featured a 3-inch, 76.2mm gun and a coaxial 37mm gun, with armor up to 102mm thick. It reached a speed of 35 kilometers per hour. Only 40 units were produced, and it never saw combat because the Army found it too heavy for overseas transport, but it served as a vital testing ground for future heavy tank designs. M26 Pershing. Arriving in early 1945, the Pershing was America's ultimate response to the Tiger. It weighed 41.7 tons. It carried a lethal 90mm gun and boasted 102mm of armor, making it the first U.S. tank that could truly survive a head-on brawl with Germany's best. It had a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. With 2,202 units produced, the Pershing saw its first kills at the Battle of the Bulge and would go on to be the ancestor of the modern M1 Abrams. T28 Super Heavy. This was designed to be an unstoppable bunker buster for the Siegfried Line. It weighed a colossal 95 tons. Its armament was a 105mm T5E1 gun, and its armor was a massive 305mm thick, arguably the thickest of the war. Because of its weight, its speed was a mere 13 kilometers per hour. Only 2 prototypes were produced, and while the war ended before it could be used, it remains a monument to the absolute limit of American armored engineering.